We're talking 180s today. Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in all humility count others more significant than yourself. Philippians 2:3. I had to take 2 takes on that. Makes sense. We're doing 180 degrees of a rotation. With these, I want you to think, you got two sides of the wake, heel side, toe side. So I'm going to do the demonstration as if I'm regular today. So you've got heel side and toe side 180s, and this is one of the steps by now in the summer. We've passed July 4th, so if you started right at the beginning of the year and you're progressing in your riding, 180s are going to come up by now. Okay, we're halfway through the summer, so it's about time that you check this one off the list. But there's so many different 180s, and once you understand the initial rope tension and being in unison with your board and ultimately being in control based on where the rope position is and kind of finding a home base. So you're going to have a heel side and a toe side home base, where feels comfortable. Okay. And I'm going to work into getting into that position. Okay, so when you think about when you're riding, what's comfortable, and be on the bottom side of the wake, both sides switching regular, and figure out what that natural length is on your handle and the proper body position to where you can control your edge on that wave. Okay, so my tarp may not be the best example here, but if I want to be like basically tiptoeing on the wake, and I can do that because I'm at a perfect amount of heel to toe pressure, and I have enough weight on my back foot that I can lean on the rope. And you want to find that for both sides, and then you're going to look at connecting them together. One of the easiest ways to do that is to slow the boat down. We're talking 12, 13 miles an hour, just to the point where the board is on top of the water, and the board is going to feel really loose at that point, and you'll be able to notice your weight distribution. When you're just casually riding down the lake, I think 75% of weight on your back foot, 25% on your front. That's going to prepare you for any wave coming up or anything in the way that you don't see. That can be 60-40. Remember that I'm going to get that weight on my back foot by putting my shoulders and aligning them with my back foot. And then when I find my new back foot, I've got to do the same thing. Okay, so you can practice this at a really slow speed. It's really to do it on this spooner board. Okay, I may need to scoot back a little bit so it feels right. But I'm going to go from 75% weight on my back foot to then 50-50, level the weight out. For the front side surface spin, I'm going to keep weight on my heels, really just by keeping my shoulders behind the board. I don't have to think about sticking my toes, picking my toes up. I just got to think about my shoulders being back, and that edge of the board will naturally happen to keep you from the face plant. Right? So this is my natural toe side position. I feel good at the, if I'm sitting at the bottom side of the wake, that's where I'm at. Okay. And I'm going to go here. Okay. The trick to this is once you start that rope moving, keep it moving all the way across. You never really want to stop at your belly button. Anytime the rope is in line with your belly button, you're going to have a bad time. No, so you want it in line with your front hip, and you can do that in multiple ways, right? One thing that might be confusing is, your front leg and your front leg, or not your front leg, your front arm, and what that looks like versus your back arm. I think I get a lot of my my control and my strength from my front arm, and then my back arm is on there just kind of hanging on to let me know that I'm in balance and where I need to be. So now when you're learning a hillside 180, the landing is going to be interesting because you've got a new front arm and your weight is on a new back foot. One of the easiest things that you can do is as you're landing, try to reach out and touch the water. Now, of course, that's not going to score very high, but what it's going to do is help you get your chest over your toes in order for you to be able to land. And what's neat is that the board edge is going to keep you on top of the water. But at first glance, it feels like it's really going to be face plant from the get-go. You know, when you start exposing your shoulders to the boat here, that's an uncertain feeling. And so you feel like that face plant is coming. But really what'll save you is making sure that you get the rope in line with your front hip and leaning over and trying to touch the water. Okay, so there's been one tip that I've kind of held pretty tight to me, and I feel like when I share this, it has unlocked a lot of riders for their 180s. Maybe not for the prettiest 180s, but to get them started in that direction so that once they have it mastered and it's more about their shoulders, they can add this up. But so you want to land a 180, but in order to land a 180, you want to put your thumb down. It naturally rotates my shoulders over my toes and allows me to feel balanced on the landing. Also, it's going to put the rope at a natural length to where I'm not having to figure out, is the rope too far away or too close? By putting my thumb down, it's going to put me right in the right position in order to stomp your first hillside 180.